Hidely Hoodly.
Good evening.
Welcome to CHMA Broadcasting from Sackville, New Brunswick, Canada. You are listening either on 106.9 FM in the Tantramartiarians area or at www.chmafm.com.
On the just unbelievable thing that is the internet.
That is
the ridiculous thing that is the internet. The mind-bending
series of ones and zeros
that composes the internet.
Yeah. Even our voices right now that people are listening to
are ones and zeros.
Yeah, because we're sending it through the ones and zeros machine to get it on the radio machine. And we're also sending it through the ones and zeros machine to get it to other people's ones and zeros machines.
Ha. Unreal.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Air Traffic Controller Thomas.
And I'm out of intro order Air Traffic Controller Luke.
Join us for the next hour as we watch us guys listen to some tunes, chat, and we'll be done by and by. Hey,
this is Ground Control YMC Midgic Airport.
Yeah, I missed a part.
It's okay.
That's the part I missed. I was just powering through it.
You were.
What is the weather conversation, my friendly almanac?
The weather is going to be weathery. It's it's the time of year when the weather gets warm again.
Yes.
And listen, I misspoke last week.
Mm-hmm.
I said that all the farmers had their first cut done.
They didn't.
I had some comments.
Oh, did you?
And you don't want to be pissing the farmers off. No, so I'm going to predict I'm going to predict a couple days of like mid-20s and sun, and maybe like keep the Sackville breeze, because man, it's hot out there when you're in sometimes.
It is, and I need now, not here at the airport, but at my house.
Mm-hmm.
I need a little breeze. We've done a couple cuts of the lawn.
Yes,
and it's pretty dead on the underside because
yep.
we didn't do good lawn care last year.
Oh,
and we're feeling the repercussions of it this year. You know,
okay.
So I wouldn't mind a little rain. So I would like a little rain.
Yeah, well, we can have a little rain, but a couple days for it to dry up too. To get the last of the hay and the silage off the field.
Oh yeah,
that's stacked up.
Yeah,
piled up, wrapped up.
How do you get rid of your cut grass?
Myself?
Yeah,
I leave it on the lawn.
You just leave it on the lawn?
Yeah, I do, but I mow it like aggressively. I don't know, so that you probably see the tracks from the mower for a day or two, and then it just kind of works in with the lawn.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that I need to do more this year at the house. It's just like mow more.
Yeah,
give it a mow probably on Monday.
Okay, mow Monday.
Yeah, maybe I'll mow it every Monday. Is once a week too much?
For mowing?
Yeah.
No, mowing once a week is fine.
Yeah.
I think twice a week's excessive. But at this time of year, once every 2 weeks might be insufficient.
Oh, certainly once every 2 weeks is insufficient.
What tune you going to listen to while you're mowing the lawn?
What tune? Well, you know what? I was so saddened a few weeks ago because my genuinely favorite band, TWRP,
mm-hmm.
Had to reschedule, not cancel, but reschedule their Eastern Canada tour.
Yes.
And I made the hope a few weeks back that when they schedule it, it will be like during Halloween or Halloween season. And they did reschedule their tour, and like it's tour dates are like the 30th, 31st of October. And then, like, the 1st and 2nd of November.
Oh, that's very Halloween adjacent.
Very Halloween adjacent. Now, I do kind of have a commitment already around that time.
That time, yes. Yeah, some family obligations.
Yeah, but...
you're hoping you can pull it off.
I'm hoping might be able to pull it off even for a little bit. Go see them. So, yeah, I'm going to, in honor of TWRB, coming to... the Maritimes,
and
during Halloween, which is even better.
Okay,
we're gonna play a little TWRP,
inspired by lawn mowing.
So here is A Human's Touch by TWRP and McKenna Ray.
All right.
Sports ball.
Sports ball.
We are talking about the sports ball. Yeah, we're going to talk about some sports ball.
What are you going to school me on some... You cut me right off. I had an out... What's a segue when you're coming out of a song called?
The intro?
No, the intro would be before the song.
Well, it'd be like the intro to the segment.
Oh, yeah, but it was still going to be about the song. And our previous conversation, I was going to make a wisecrack about how it'd be hard to mow the lawn without a human touch. Then I was thinking of those robot lawnmowers they got nowadays.
There's one near your place, isn't there?
There is. I see it frequently.
So there's one by the Ducks Unlimited office in Amherst that I drive by frequently.
Mm-hmm. And it's always just...
Oh, it's just going.
Doing its thing.
And I've always thought, because I think the Ducks Unlimited office shares its office with one of the aerospace places, which there are quite a few aerospace places in Amherst because of steel mill, and you're going back to World War II.
When Avro had a plant building planes in Amherst.
Exactly. And
training, right? I think they did pilot training there.
Yeah. And a lot of those companies just kind of stayed in Amherst and are still there.
Just cool, man.
Yeah, it is cool.
Planes are cool.
Planes are cool. Anyway, I made a joke one day to my lovely, beautiful wife that a bunch of engineers in the building in there, no one's mowing the lawn. Wouldn't be funny to just drive by someday and see an engineer out working on the lawnmower. So they could mow the lawn. And
sure enough.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago I drove by. There was someone out with like a big socket set or whatever working on the lawnmower. All right. In the middle of the lawn. I was just like, that's awesome.
So, even when robots are involved, a human touch.
You still need a human's touch sometimes.
All right.
Hey, the ones and zeros, they need at least someone to press enter at some point, right?
For now.
Sorry,
sports ball. You were gonna
we're sports balling.
Tell me about something that's happening in the worlds of sport.
Yeah. So, have you seen? They're coming up a little bit more because people are clowning on them. These new football helmets, the Guardian caps.
No, but what a name!
The Guardian cap, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to show you a picture, and I want you. Which is your favorite segment of all time, Luke?
Nothing better than showing pictures on the radio.
And then you having to describe it.
Okay.
So.
Oh, we have it up? Man, you know what? Like, okay. Huh.
He's formulating his thoughts.
Yeah, so it's got like what I would call a bird cage. Like it's got the forward
the face mask.
Face mask, yeah. It's a bit more pointed, I think, than the conventional one, or it appears to be.
In football,
it's got a bit of Vader-ishness there by the mouth, kind of comes out.
In football, every position actually has its own face mask.
No way.
And you can get different variations of it.
Mm-hmm.
So there are like half cages, full cages. This would be like a running back type of cage. So running back usually doesn't want the slats right there so they can see. So they'll usually have right where the eyes are wide open, while an offensive lineman like I was
wanted maximum protection.
He wanted the full cage. I had the full cage with the bar in the middle, and I still got poked in the eye. Like, the only time I ever had to get taken off the field.
You got poked in the eye?
Yeah, dude's, like, entire finger was in my eye.
Oh.
Yeah, I couldn't see, like...
Yeah. As someone who's had eye discomfort before, eye discomfort's a real thing.
Yeah, it was very unpleasant. I've experienced quite a bit of pain. I've recently put a nail through my foot. I've never experienced pain.
Compare
never experienced pain like the big old eye poke.
Okay, so this is going to be helpful for like 3 of our listeners who don't already know what the helmet
the Guardian
looks like.
cap is, yeah.
But are familiar with early 90s hockey helmets, but there used to be like Jofa, or it was like a 4-letter word hockey helmet that was like smooth and sleek, and it appears to me to be a foamed ridged version of that.
Yeah, it to me it's like a combination of a rugby cap. So there are, some people do, and I wore a rugby cap when I played.
Okay.
Mostly because I didn't want to cauliflower the piss out of my ears. And it kind of has that look. I don't know. You mentioned the 90s, and in my head, I got like the Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah.
Remember those?
Yeah.
And they had like a big head with like a thing around it. Like I've seen boxers kind of use training gear similar to this. So it's essentially like it's a football helmet, but it's a big poofy top.
Yeah.
And it looks ridiculous. Like it does look ridiculous.
Looks a bit silly. What? So, okay, let's step back into a world that I understand.
Yep.
In motorsports, like in helmets, even in motorcycle helmets, there's different certifications of helmets. So you have like a DOT helmet, which is effectively it just has to look like a helmet. Like, like
fair, yeah.
Yeah, it vaguely resembles a helmet. Great. Is there any testing to prove that it protects you? It looks like a helmet.
It looks like a helmet.
It meets the legal requirement in Canada if you're on a motorized vehicle that need a helmet.
Totally.
But then in racing, you'll often find that you need what's called a Snell-approved helmet. And these manufacturers have to submit their helmets to be tested.
Yes.
And that program has changed every few years and updated.
Sure, yeah.
So, like, a Snell helmet from 2020 is built significantly different than a Snell 2024 approved helmet.
Totally.
Okay.
With the updates and technology.
Yeah, so this helmet, while it looks goofy, it like I presume it's been tested to show that it provides some meaningful improvement in safety over.
So it has been tested by the company.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I know. But this is where yes, we're both on the same page already with like being tested by the company. And you know what? Being tested by the company is kind of where I'm going with my news.
Peer-reviewed.
My news a little later is tested by the company too.
Oh dear.
But the owners of the company, they put specific positions, because again, we talked about the different helmets for different positions,
which I didn't know. Now we're already learning things.
Different positions all kind of, impact differently in football, right? It's really kind of like 3 or 4 different sports happening all at the same time, with the skilled positions. So they didn't test every position yet, is what I'm trying to say.
So what position is this helmet for? Right now, you want to buy a Guardian headpiece.
Yeah, the Guardian caps, I think, have mostly been used for like receivers, so they catch the ball, and running backs, so the ones in the back,
who are doing the running.
Sometimes they catch too, and sometimes they block, but they mostly run.
Okay.
This right here is Calgary Stampeder Isaac Moore. He is an offensive lineman, which is what I played.
A larger gentleman?
No, he would be a larger gentleman, yeah. So he's the first lineman, so big boy, that I've seen on. But the owners say they saw, and I wrote it down, it was a clip with Pat McAfee, who is now like an interviewer, has his own show, sports show, used to be the punter for the Indianapolis Colts, regarded as probably the greatest punter that's still alive.
Wow.
Most kickers and punters aren't really highly regarded in the football community, but Pat McAfee always was. Because
of personality or skill or both.
Yes.
Okay.
Wild personality. Wildly skilled.
Okay.
And you're a basketball guy, hustle guys that are just like, they're not always the best, but they give 110.
Yeah.
So he was very good at kicking, but he wasn't very good at like tackling or other stuff.
But he was trying.
Oh my goodness, he got some of the biggest hits in some of the seasons. Not because he was a good hitter, but just because he was like,
he was trying every time, and
he's going 110, and he's like, he's the last line of defense. It's just Pat McAfee and this like usually running back or receiver,
okay,
and he just kills him. Like just runs them over.
Yeah, see, this is all I know about this, but that's the kind of person you can get behind.
Oh, 100%. And he walks around and talks like he is Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Like the greatest quarterback of all time. But that's because he's friends with Peyton Manning. He's just like,
might just be ribbing him a bit.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, and he's just really funny. Anyway, Pat McAfee had the owner for the Guardian Caps on.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, the owner on Pat McAfee's show, that they saw in the positions that they tested 52% less concussion.
Wow.
Which is big. So, how this is kind of bringing in Canada, the CFL is the first league to kind of be like, okay, like you can play with these helmets if you want to. Like it's not mandatory. But CFL is the first league to be introducing the Guardian caps. So yeah, you need someone out there making this hat saying it protects 52% better before someone's going to pick it up, you know?
Yeah.
And CFL picking it up. And so far, everyone, like, the reviews from the players haven't been terrible.
Okay. I know from you that the CFL and American football are played a little differently.
Yes.
Are the hits, like, are the impacts notably greater or lesser in one than the other?
You're going to get stronger, faster, harder athletes in the NFL.
Because it's a bigger pool, but bigger talent pool, more. Okay.
Now, but
the game itself doesn't, like, the differences in the play don't
not necessarily. The CFL would have the bigger field, which would give you more time to wind up.
Okay.
And like those big wind up kind of hits that Pat McAfee is famous for.
Yeah, setting the angle coming out.
Yes.
From
the NFL and CFL are trying to cut down on a little bit, just because those are the ones where the big head injuries happen.
Yeah.
Just like,
yeah, because you get two people moving at great speed as opposed to when two of the big boys collide from like 3 feet away.
Yes, very different.
Yeah.
So the leagues are trying to actually eliminate that part of the game to an extent. Because even though it is wildly exciting to watch, it is so dangerous. So that part of the game, like those really massive hits, like I always say the athletes in the CFL and the NFL are a lot closer than people think, which is true, but it's still like there's still a gap there, you know? And the gap is like, people in the NFL would likely probably get hurt more. So I don't know if the Guardian cap would be as useful.
Beneficial. Yeah.
And who knows? Maybe it could be even more beneficial. Like I don't know.
Hard to say.
I ain't a brain scientist.
A lot of physics at work there too.
No,
like,
yeah.
You know.
One thing that did come up, the top concussion expert in Canada, Blaine Hoshizaki. Blaine Hoshizaki, director of the Neurotrauma Impact Science Laboratory at the University of Ottawa and internationally recognized for head and brain injury research, went so far as to say no technology can, and I quote, nothing protects against concussions. Like no technology can completely take out, can completely protect against concussions.
Well, and all sports are going to have some level of risk.
Exactly.
And contact sports. Like, I mean, there's contact sports and then there's, like, explicitly contact sports. You know, like football is...
a lot of contact in it.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find the right way to say this, but, like, I would say football and hockey, the physical hitting is far and away above maybe everything else except Aussie rules football.
Yeah. And
because, you know, the Australians operate on a different risk scale.
Just a different level entirely. And it's interesting, too. I have a weird perspective of it because I played football at a fairly high level for a while. At
least 10 minutes.
A couple minutes.
Yeah.
And I never got a head injury in football. I got one when I worked before an air traffic controller. I was working at group homes. I got one from a resident there.
Mm-hmm.
And I got my first one ever from bumping my head off art.
Art is very dangerous.
And this was maybe 6-7 years after I was done playing football.
Huh.
I was just in an art gallery at in Antigonish, Nova Scotia.
Mm-hmm.
And there was, it was like a plaster. It was like a weird cement plaster. It was really cool. But I bumped my head on it. I forget how I even bumped my head on it.
Yeah, concussion will do that to you.
Yeah, super fair. Bumped my head on it. It was in between classes. I had a class in the building where the art gallery was. It was my last year of education. Yeah, so I bumped my head, went to class, and the entire class, never had a concussion before. The entire class was like, yo, like, I feel like I took something, and I know I didn't. Because I had no reference for concussion.
To know what it was like.
And then I talked to a couple people after class, and they're like, "You should like
see somebody."
Yeah, and then the doctor was like, "Yeah, you got a mild to moderate concussion."
People think that the only dangerous part about art is the ideas it can put in your head.
It can
also hurt you.
Yeah, it can put blood in your head, make your brain bleed. It did for me.
All right.
Yeah. So. I'm very interested to see where this helmet goes, the Guardian cap. It's either going to be an interesting footnote in something that was
a tried and a failed,
or a tried and it turned into this later technology, or it could be the start of wearing a helmet for hockey goalies.
Well, yeah, and it's funny because, like I say, when I looked at it, I remembered those old. I'm gonna say Jofa, but it might be some other like 4-letter thing of the hockey helmets. And it only comes to mind to me because I was talking or saw a picture last winter or the winter before of someone who was still rocking one of these.
Oh yeah,
and still plays like like pickup hockey. Yeah, and they happen to take From the account of the people there, it was a fairly hard puck to the back of the head, but the helmet like split.
Wow!
And it's like, wow, this person really liked this helmet. And it's like, yeah, but it's aged out technology, right?
Yeah,
and it's not going to provide the same protection, and it becomes that like,
yeah.
Should he have been wearing it? Well, I mean, it was a heck of a lot better than not wearing a helmet. The outcome would have been very poor.
Yeah,
could it have provided more? I don't know. Did it provide more because the helmet broke and dissipated energy?
Maybe. I don't know physics.
Right?
I do know this is coming from the coach side of being involved in football.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of our helmets have insurance dates on them.
Yeah, so it's they age out?
Yeah. And it's like, I think they used to be 8 years, and I think our insurance now is at 5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, you can sell them off because it's like, if my insurance only will take every 5 years, but your team's insurance will take
8 years.
Exactly.
You can buy that helmet at a discount for 3. Yeah. And that's the same, like, coming back to motorsports. Like, I have a Snell 20. I can't remember if mine's 22 or 24. So for my helmet that I use for racing, it is good for, I think it's 4 or 6 years.
Yeah.
With the caveat that, I mean, the little bit of racing I do now is on water.
Yes.
So it's really hard to get a blunt impact unless you hit someone else's boat or a motor. But if I was using that very same helmet on a motorcycle and fell off a bike and even took a light scuff to the head, like, that helmet is done.
Yeah, wow.
It's considered
toast.
It
did its job.
Did its job. Truthfully, if you go by the letter of the law, if you were holding that helmet in your hand
and dropped it
and hit the floor,
done. Yeah,
ta-da.
I get it. Football helmets aren't.
They are made for a single impact.
Yeah. Football helmets obviously aren't that. They are made for more than one impact. But I've never been the equipment manager for a team. But obviously, the players I work with have helmets.
Yes.
It is interesting to see just the variance, like, because if we have a helmet for 5 years, we're going to use it for 5 years.
Yeah.
But also, so like on my O lineman and D lineman, I'll be able to see like 20 what year are we in now? Yeah, so I'll be able to
24.
see 24. So I'll be able to see a 2019 and a 2024 helmet on the same lineup, and really like the difference is I would say not every year, but maybe every 2 years. For like the same line of helmet. Yeah, notable. Like just like when like a new car comes out, right? Like, you know, a new line of Civics or whatever.
Yeah.
You can tell it's like, oh, new Civics came out every,
it's got a hash
3,
mark
4
here.
years.
It's got a different vent here. Yeah. Weird.
Anyway.
You know what else is weird?
What?
I was hoping you'd have a weird song to segue into.
Give me a second. I'll be
okay. We can play some more Newfoundland music. I put some more Newfoundland on there because I've been jamming to the Newfoundland ska.
Yeah, who we playing?
Because it's summer, so we're gonna play some more Baytown, which I know last week I set up as traditional Newfoundland music.
Yes.
Maybe hit that Humans in a Haze.
Humans in a Haze.
Because it's sometimes foggy over there. I'm sure that's what they're talking about.
You know what? It's true. Just the fog, nothing else.
Yep. Humans in a Haze by Baytown.
Speaking about being your own quality control. Hey, we're going to talk about the news.
Are we?
Yeah.
I don't love that segue.
Well, we were talking about doing your own quality.
As a company, when you put out a product and say this product
the Guardian cap saying like, hey, we tested this 52%.
Way better. We're not impartial or biased in anyway.
Exactly. And like, obviously they have a big financial gain in the Guardian cap doing well. And I do hope it does, as previously discussed. Hey, the government of New Brunswick.
Oh.
They sometimes do audits on themselves.
Uh-huh.
And every time I have found, at least in the last little bit, every time the government of New Brunswick's done an audit on itself,
the results have been great.
They've done really good.
Huh.
And what I find interesting is that everyone is like, hey, there's a mysterious brain illness in New Brunswick. And New Brunswick is like, yeah, no, we looked at it ourselves and there's not a mysterious brain illness here. But apparently...
How local is this news?
Well, you know...
Is the brain... Is the illness... Ooh, this could be proof it is affecting us.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I thought it was like a northeastern New Brunswick thing, like Acadian Peninsula, and like
Shediac.
Oh, as far south as Shediac.
I think there have been.
Are you sure it didn't just come down to vacation in Shediac?
I don't know.
For the summer.
I don't know. Maybe it did.
Oh,
maybe that. You know how to get that. We're real close to Moncton. There are things to do.
Go shopping at the mall.
Dr. Michael Coulthart was moved off the file after team ruled out his specialty cause of disease. Scientists working on mysterious NB brain condition claimed he was cut off for, quote, political reasons. A leading federal scientist claimed, this is from CBC, by the way, this is not our own reporting. I always tell you when it's our own reporting, because I'm very proud of it.
I've never had one story on our own reporting.
I'm very proud of it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is CBC. A leading federal scientist claimed he wasn't allowed to keep investigating a mystery neurological illness that made dozens of people sick in New Brunswick, according to an email obtained by CBC News. So Dr. Michael Coulthart, from when I read this article that came out, has not responded yet. And I don't think he's going to, because he has no really reason to come out and respond to it. You know, it's not... From my understanding, you know, it wasn't like he was going out of his way to bring this story to light, that they kind of shut him out for political reasons, and CBC obtained
some records.
Some notes. Yep. So, Dr. Michael Coulthart, who is the head of Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease surveillance system, wrote last October, so this would be October 2023, that he had been, quote, essentially caught off, end quote, from working on the file at the public health level for reasons he could, quote, only discern to be political, end quote. He said he was worried that there are more than 200 patients experiencing unexplained neurological decline. That is a lot more than the government has said, which, if I remember correctly, is like between like 60 and 80. And they were like, 2 years ago, they were like, and those 60 to 80 were all one quack doctor. And he misdiagnosed all of them to try to be famous and have a disease named after him. Like, that's what the government of New Brunswick, because I remember the story coming out. However many, it was...
Yeah, I know, it was a couple of years back.
Yeah, because it was 2020, and I think the first sign of it was, like, May 2020, because I remember, like, the first few months of 2020, like, April, March, April, May, people had, like, end of the end times, like, bingo cards and stuff, so, like, mysterious brain illness, people were like, oh, I had that one! Terrible times.
Yeah.
So that's when, like, I first heard about it, and I remember, like, you know, still at the height of COVID 2021, New Brunswick coming out and being like, nope, that was just one quack doctor who was trying to make a name for himself. Like, we do not have a mysterious brain illness. And then there's...
So I've been reading Animal Farm the last 2 days.
Yes, okay.
Like, I just full disclosure, I went to French school, folks.
Yes.
And, the French school I went with wasn't big into literature
Okay.
or anything that would make you question the government. Which,
yes.
I mean, I know goes in and out of style with the times, right? Like,
Sure.
you know, there was a time that everything you had to read in school was anti-communist. And there was a time when everything you had to read in school was anti-capitalist. And there is now a time in school where everything you have to read is... I don't know. I don't know what the kids are reading today in school. I should probably look into it.
You probably should. You have children.
Offspring? Yeah. They're going to have to read some stuff.
Yeah, I have a book that might sometimes my something. I don't know. What can I even say? My friend who's a teacher does.
Yes.
The only book that my friend who's a teacher ever does is called Jazz. And it teaches kids about jazz.
Okay. That's fine.
Do you think that's cool? Is that okay?
Is jazz okay?
Well, just like kids learning about jazz okay. Like, are you okay?
Well, is it like... Is it all that jazz, or is it jazz the musical type?
It's jazz the musical genre.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's okay to teach kids about jazz.
Okay, because like
I know it's very free form and unstructured, and that
that is not true.
That won't. Okay, then it's extremely structured, but the structures are complex, and not everyone understands them.
That's actually a lot better. Yeah. That actually makes a lot more sense.
I'm not saying kids shouldn't get into jazz.
I'm hearing kids shouldn't get into jazz.
Anyway,
I think
so. Like, I'm a little overcritical of government for the next few days till I'm done reading this.
Super fair.
And that's okay in the short term.
In the short term, yeah. And
I'll go back to sci-fi and everything will be idealistic, but sometimes you got to ground yourself.
You do. The last quote from Coulthard that I will say comes from the emails that they got in October. This is all from October 2023. Quote, all I will say is that it is my scientific opinion that there is something real going on in New Brunswick that absolutely cannot be explained by the bias or personal agenda of an individual neurologist, end quote. So essentially saying, sure, you probably can push some away as an individual neurologist trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah.
But when you get up to over 200 cases, that narrative becomes pretty flimsy, especially if that quote unquote neurologist has been on the case for now 3 years and it's still around.
Yeah. Well,
and I don't know if you folks have looked up other prion diseases, because although they have ruled this out as a prion disease, that doesn't mean it's not a prion disease.
What is a prion disease?
That would be similar to Creutzfeldt-Jakob, like I was talking about earlier, or the one that you probably understand more because it was in the news a lot in at least our childhood, mad cow disease.
Okay.
And of course, both are deadly, as is this mysterious New Brunswick neurological disease. Yeah, pretty heavy news, but like
it is heavy news. I'm glad mine is light.
I am too, but I also think it's important.
Actually,
is it light? Is it just light in comparison?
It's light in comparison.
Yeah. Look,
certainly not light by the pound.
Ooh.
Or the kilogram.
Ooh.
Since we're supposed to be metric, I guess.
Look, we're Canadian. We don't do weight in metric. We never, at least our generation never will.
No. Will the next?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
But here at the airport, we operate in metric.
I operate in metric here, but if you were to ask me my weight,
you would give it in pounds.
I don't think I can give it to you in metric unless I stood on like weight.
But
at
the temperature
work.
outside would be Celsius.
Yes.
But the temperature in the oven,
Fahrenheit. We're Canadian. This is how it works.
Strange.
You're the same though, right?
So the whale that washed up in Stewiacke.
Oh yeah,
by the pound, by the foot,
yeah,
by the kilogram, by the meter. It's a humpback, so it's not like the biggest whale.
No,
but
it's still a big whale. It's a humpback.
Yeah, it's a whale.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, we're saying the same thing. It's a whale.
Okay. Like, just because it's small for a whale doesn't mean it's not big.
It's still a whale.
And it washed up in Stewiacke.
Yeah.
And my favorite news report I had on this was early on. This would have been, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday when it happened. Maybe Wednesday. And they had the RCMP spokesperson come on, straight-faced, saying, because you can see this from the highway.
Yes. Yeah.
Saying, we'd like people not to slow down and look.
No.
Now, you and I have both lived in the Maritimes for a couple of decades.
Yeah.
I've seen people
get out of their car,
stop in a downtown, windows down for a conversation.
Yes. Yeah.
Or, because ducks are crossing, or because...
Hey, that happened, were you in the car when that happened earlier today? Not today, this week. Me and my lovely, beautiful wife. Were you in the car with us this week? Someone was in the car and we saw ducks.
I don't believe it was me.
Ah, man, yeah. We saw someone slam on brakes for a duck crossing.
Anyway, so I just thought...
Sorry, slam on brakes and put the four-ways on.
Oh, to protect the ducks.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's Sackville. You have to protect the ducks. Otherwise, you'll be banished.
It's true.
I just thought it was... sometimes the absurdity of the news can be so... Like, there's a lot of bad in the news, and you know that I avoid the news, and this is the closest I come to the news.
Yes.
And I just get little tidbits here and there, which I find entertaining.
Yes.
But the RCMP officer asking,
please,
in a serious way, for Maritimers,
please,
not to slow down and have a look at a whale.
It's not going to happen.
It lightened my heart.
Yeah.
Because I know it's like, it's like the RCMP requesting the sun not to come up in the morning.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Yes.
Like, you can ask, and you can ask politely, and like, sure, it might be a part of your job to ask the sun not to come up. That's going to come up. And you do look ridiculous.
Yeah, but like, I don't think the officer was... It's hard to say what the officer believed, but to me, I won't say it was comedy, but I would say it was comedic.
Yes, fair.
And it was definitely news. And now you have it. I think the whale is still there.
Yeah.
Hard to get rid of a whale once they wash up.
Look, hey, from what I've learned throughout history,
whales?
About getting rid of whales, the best thing to do?
Lamp oil?
A bunch of TNT.
Oh, that's a different way to take it.
Hey, it's happened.
It certainly has. We've tried that. Known results.
The results are the whale's gone. Well, no, the results are the whale is
dissipated.
Yes, I was going to say the whale is gone from that one spot. And if that wasn't the goal, I'm not sure what was. Right?
Sometimes the news is comedy.
Yeah, sometimes the news is comedy. Hey, we're going to do a thing. My mouse is not working.
Why do you need a mouse on the radio?
Well, because I have notes in front of me, and usually they're not paper notes.
Okay.
Were
you going to tell people what's going on this week?
Oh my goodness, I should.
There's probably all kinds of stuff. Summer is in full swing.
Yeah.
Events are eventing.
So many events are eventing. I went to my beautiful wife and I.
Yes.
My loving beautiful wife and I were at Bill Johnstone Park for the Tintamar concert.
How was that?
Well, we didn't get to catch a lot of it.
Okay.
We were getting ice cream. But what we did catch, I very much enjoyed.
Okay.
I'll probably go see him again.
There you go.
Yeah. But that was last week. This week, we have trivia at Bagtown. That is at on Wednesdays, it seems. Just always on Wednesdays. 45 Main Street. That is a $2.50 donation and one drink starting at 7 p.m. We also have trivia this Thursday at Ducky's at 7 p.m.
Did we recently win that?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Oh.
Shout out our team. I forget what our name was.
I can't remember the name either.
But we won.
We did. We were victorious.
First time we've ever won.
Yes.
And we will likely never win again.
But victory was sweet.
It was sweet. We have the Concerts in the Park series continuing. Last week it was Tintamar, which I went and saw. This week it is Jensen McSheffrey duo. That is Thursdays at 6:30 from 6:30 to 8. And we have Saltwater Moon by David French. The classic and touching love story set in Newfoundland in 1926. That's at the Marshlight Theater, 3 Fairfield Road here in Sackville. That is $25, and it is at 7:30 on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Huh. All right.
That's what I got.
Okay.
Awesome. Is it Festival by the Marsh? That's a thing going on, right? Festival by the Marsh, July 10th to 21st.
Take part.
Check it out at probably sackville.com.
Is it Tantramar?
I don't know. What is
now that it's all been wrapped into one...
yeah, I don't know what it is anymore.
One conglomeration?
Because we're still Sackville. Like, we're still a town of Sackville.
I'm very confused by the whole operation.
Yeah, sackville.com, yeah.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, it is a pretty confusing operation. Why we had to do all this amalgamation, not sure.
Reasons.
Okay. Hey, do you want to do some gold stars?
We could do some gold stars.
What's your gold star?
I'm giving mine out to the Public Works crew here in Sackville. Tantramar? Sackville?
Tantramar.
In the region of Tantramar.
Yeah.
The Sackville. No, I'll give it to all the Public Works people across Tantramar.
Totally.
Like, pretty thankless gig. Like, and
yeah,
we're
right?
sometimes comedically critical of the town officials.
Yes.
However, the people are going out and fixing like water and sewer on demand.
Nothing funny about that. It's hard work.
Listen, man.
Yeah.
You go to any of those people and they shake your hand, it's not a light handshake.
No.
These are people putting in real work.
Strong folk.
And they had that big old water main thing
earlier this week. Over the weekend, right?
And
was it weekend or is it this week?
I think it was during the week.
Look, I'm on, like I said, I'm on vacation right now, so I have no clue.
I'm glad you came into the airport.
Yeah, exactly.
For this. So they got that like buttoned up quick, and yeah, I know there's a boil water thing, and that's
people hate that.
Yeah, people they dislike inconvenience, and I can appreciate that. But the fact that we have town water is pretty wild,
crazy. The fact that we have town water and that when it breaks, we have people to go and fix it
within a few hours.
Crazy.
And that was a pipe under a road, and both were serviceable again within a few hours.
It's crazy.
So, hats off to the old Public Works folks.
Yeah, totally.
They're getting a gold star.
Totally. My gold star, I'm going in a very opposite vein of you. Yours is very positive.
Oh.
Mine is...
a negative gold star?
Yeah. You'll see in a second.
Oh,
I'm giving mine to HR people who actually like humans.
Okay, go on.
Well, it's just, I've had to deal with a lot of human resource people in the last year.
Because of issues here at the airport.
Actually, it is not. It's not human resources with our company here at Midgic Airport.
Human
resources here.
Services.
Yeah. So some other work that I'm doing, working human resources in those companies. And I have worked with human resources that might not always be like super quick, but like kind, respectful, like understanding. And I've worked with some
other kind
human resource people who treat people like they're nothing more than a commodity, like wheat or grain or livestock. So
are you giving it to the better ones?
Yeah, I'm giving it to the better ones.
Okay.
Shout out to CCRCE being the school board over in Nova Scotia and Chignecto. They have pretty good HR people.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Not going to shout out the people that don't have good HR people.
Nah, you don't.
It's mean. I don't need to be mean.
Nah, you want to bring the other people up, not tell the terrible people they're terrible. They probably already know.
I am sure they know. There is no way that you can do a job as poorly as some of the people I've been dealing with and not know that you are real bad. Like, you know?
That's sad.
It is, but like when you send it, it's just like I'm sending like, hey, I'm frustrated, and in this email, I'm apologizing for how frustrated I am.
Mm-hmm.
But I am frustrated, and then you get emails back like being kind of treating you like a little kid. Like, I don't know, man. Like, here's literal proof of what you're saying is wrong from the conversations we had. Anyway.
You know what'll make you feel better?
What will make me feel better?
Listening to more of CHMA.
That's true. Do you know what's on right after this?
Live.
On?
Well, not CHMA.
No, KEXP.
KEXP.
Yeah. They bring you the best of live on KEXP's world-renowned in-studio and remote performances each week. They have quite a few new live sessions from emerging artists to well-established acts, spanning styles, genres, and cultures. You've heard me say they have everyone, and they do have everyone, including Jeremy Dutcher, who, of course, is from right here in New Brunswick. Full video of all live on KEXP performances available at youtube.com/KEXP, including a new performance by Vancouver band The New Pornographers. That's not a new performance at all.
No.
That's been on there for months at this point.
Yeah, but they can still put it on there as new.
Yeah, it's true.
Maybe
well,
it's just like,
it's
maybe
me.
you're reading it. The emphasis on the wrong place. Maybe it's just a performance by The New Pornographers, and you're reading it a new performance by.
It's true.
Sometimes I don't read all the words in the correct order.
I never read words well.
Or good.
Right after that, so that's on right after us.
Yes.
And then after that, Sunday at 8 p.m., we got Black Atlantic, a primarily Black Atlantic-centric podcast, website, and media channel with the goal of bringing Atlantic POC voices to the world, hosted by Clinton Davis and Hilary LeBlanc.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Clinton Davis quite a bit in the community recently.
Have you?
Yeah. We've never met.
No, but he's around?
No, he's around.
That's cool, man. He's like, what, 2 shows a week on here?
I think so.
Man,
he's doing stuff.
I feel like it's exponential. Like, doing one show is one amount of work.
Yeah.
I feel like doing 2 shows would be at least 3 amounts of work.
I will tell you, as someone who's tried to do 2 shows,
yeah,
it's like 3 amounts of work.
I bet.
I consistently can get this one out, though.
Yeah, well,
I have to.
I appreciate
it's radio.
It's radio.
You can't have radio.
It's pre-recorded live.
It is pre-recorded live.
There you go.
Hey, do what we have after Black Atlantic? You know this one.
Oh, gosh, man, you never know what you're gonna get with Luca Capone.
With Luca Capone, it's a night shift with Luca Capone. That's right. It's been a diverse, adventurous mix of sounds ranging from psychedelic jazz to experimental hip-hop with a heavy focus on Canadian and independent artists. Who do you got this week?
You know what else is a time you can tune in and get all kinds of different stuff?
When?
Saturday at 3. And you might
think... In the morning?
No, 3 in the afternoon.
Oh, that makes more sense.
But I think it's more of a 3 o'clock ramping up than it is a 3 o'clock winding down,
totally.
Right? So you can listen into Radio Rascal.
Oh, yes.
Friend of the show, Kylie Viano.
Yes.
We'll be pumping out.
Hi, Kylie. I've seen you in a store before, and I waved, and you didn't wave back. You probably didn't know it was me and thought this large, creepy dude is waving at you.
Just waving at you. You could have used your voice to communicate who you were.
Yeah, but
that would also be creepy.
Wouldn't it?
Yes.
Look at me.
This is the voice.
Like, this is the voice. Yeah, you're asking this voice to go, Kylie, it's me! I know Luke! Like, is that what you want?
I'm not sure how you play that out, but, speaking of radio hosts who are in the community and can be seen.
Yes!
You might see Kylie Vina around.
That's true.
So tune into that show.
Totally tune in.
On the Saturdays. Thank you all for listening. Thank you, CHMA, for hosting and broadcasting. Check them out at chmafm.com.
Yeah, it's not easy, is it?
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
You usually do this part. And CHMAFM on the socials.
Like, seriously, the CHMAFM?
is the toughest.
It took me like literally saying it in the mirror a few times to get it. Like CHMAFM. Like I still have to think about it.
CHMAFM. It's an odd. Anyway, check us out on the internet at midgicairport.com. Visit our merch store.
Yeah, we do have a merch store. We got you have some merch?
I do have a hat.
I have a hat I wear. My wife was wearing our sweater the other day. It's a really nice
when we
sweater.
won a trivia.
Yes, she was wearing it when we won a trivia. Maybe that's going to be our trivia.
Our lucky
sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like if you want a lucky sweater for trivia, like check out our merch store.
Okay, and then shout us out on socials at Midgic Airport. Except on X, which is formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah.
Where we are Midgic _airport.
That is true.